here. This. All right, here we go. Yeah, got that running this time. I will let you start off as I do my usual deep dive into electronics and. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it. White now. Be very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits. I'm going through my Elmer Fudd phase, and we have barely begun. We could talk about beginnings, but what I've been eager to talk about for this edition are endings.
Oh, yeah?
Very, very recently, the acclaimed seinen manga Vinland Saga released its 220th and final chapter. This is after 20 years of publication. This is after plenty of instances of hiatuses and breaks and uncertainties. It crossed the finish line. And this is significant because Vinland Saga is considered a top 3 seinen manga. It is considered one of the big 3, right up there with Berserk and Vagabond. And then there's Vinland Saga. That's always the 3 that people talk about. But Vinland Saga, just this year, has been the first of the 3 to finish. And to celebrate this monumentous occasion, I decided to binge read all 220 chapters.
Yeah.
Sadly,
I only been watching the anime, and I haven't even made it that far yet.
If it's anything to give, I think the anime is somehow better than the manga.
The anime? Really?
Yes.
You don't say that, but...
I don't say that too frequently because the manga is the original and purest vision of created IP out of Japan, or at least it's most often the case. It's either a manga or a light novel. Before I veer too far into topic, I just wanted to point out that there's usually a trick to telling whether or not an anime is based off of a manga or a light novel. Just pay attention to what characters are doing while they're talking. If they're doing some kind of activity with their body while giving off dialogue, manga. If they're just kind of standing still or sitting down, not doing much, light novel. That's a big telling factor.
So like an adaptation to an anime?
Yeah.
Okay.
An anime adaptation of a manga or light novel. That's how you tell them apart. Just what they're doing while they're talking.
Okay.
But before I talk too much about talking, I want to talk about reading Vinland Saga. This was a splendid 220 chapters. It is a complete vision, completely uncompromised. The author imagined this process would take 10 years to complete, but the best plans, even if they are set in stone, are not guaranteed to go according to.
So out of all the manga that you read so far, out of the 220 chapters, which chapter was your favorite?
Ooh, favorite chapter. Yeah. I can think of a few right now. Obviously, 220 is very precious, considering it is the culmination.
Yeah.
It is what we got there for. 191 was very significant. That's definitely the moment I'm looking forward to most when Vinland Saga's anime gets to season. That's season 4 territory for sure. It'd take a bit to get there, but I'm looking forward to that the most.
I mean, if anything, they also do time skips, so it's not like it has to wait until season 4.
Yeah, Vinland Saga has about 3 major time skips throughout its entire run. And the chronological story takes place across 20 years. Mm-hmm. So for a bit of synopsis, Vinland Saga is based off of history, but it is not an adaptation of history. It's more like a repurposing of it. It's kind of like how I talked about with Rose of Versailles in one of our other casts. But Vinland Saga does, I'd say it takes the history it's based off of to a bit of another level. There are a lot of creative liberties because the protagonist, Thorfinn Karlsefni, is based off of a real-world Viking, and it is chronological. It is chronologizing. There would be a word. Chronicling. Chronicling. Yeah, it's chronicling his life's story into his expeditions. there are a lot of real world figures that are put into the story amidst fictional characters.
Oh,
The
jeez.
real world characters are probably the most interesting ones, but that isn't to take away from any of the fictional characters that Yukimura came up with. What started off as an ordinary story about a boy seeking vengeance and plunging himself into the deepest depths of hatred turns into a story more about humanity and the value of what you do with your life as you are given it. So that turns from a story about revenge into a story about discovery.
Okay.
Not just discovery of new lands, hence the title Vinland Saga, but also discovery of oneself. The journey that the protagonist Thorfinn goes through is very transformative, both physically and spiritually.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I was like, Thorfinn was the little boy in like the first few episodes, right? Because
Mhm,
Thor
mhm.
was the
Thor's
big dog
was
of the area.
yeah, he was his father. Yeah, so it starts off with Thorfinn as a boy and it ends with him as a fully grown adult. That's the entire foundation of it. But let's see.
Did he ever get revenge for his father? I mean, like, you don't have to tell me. I could always,
you could always
suck
just,
up and
yeah.
watch the anime. But come on, there's such a long list I got here, man. It's like it's going. I catch like up on 3, and there's 10 more down the line. I'm like, ah.
Yeah, I'm glad that I was able to see the entire anime when I was able to, because I'm not even going to mince words here. Favorite anime I've ever watched, period. And this is stacking it up against a really, really big list.
Yeah, it's like our lists are huge.
Yeah.
We probably go back from watching anime at the start of what, 2005?
My proper beginnings was in 2012. That's when I discovered Toonami's existence.
Yeah.
That's how it got going for a lot of American fans. If it didn't start there, it definitely started with some of the childhood ones like Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, see, that's why I was like 2005, because I have an older brother, so he's about 4 years older than me. So when I was about 5 or 4, he was about 8. So he's watching anime while I'm quote unquote sleeping. So he would watch it, and I would also just watch some of it and be interested. Luckily, most of the time it was, Naruto, Dragon Ball, and then I fall asleep before it becomes like Black Lagoon and all the.
Then you get to the hardcore ones.
Yeah, luckily Toonami typically did their kinder animes at the beginning of the night, and then grow into more adult versions.
Vinland Saga is incredibly hardcore. You get that very early on.
Really? I didn't feel like it was that hardcore. I was just like,
just you wait.
It can't be as hardcore as Berserk. Berserk was up there first episode.
The very first arc of Vinland Saga is definitely its most hardcore. And although it gets less and less hardcore as it goes on, the amount of hardcoreness you get does not go away. It does not go away. Okay. If it isn't brutal murder, it's definitely one of the harsher realities of living in 11th century planet Earth.
I do like the century I do live in.
Yeah.
I kind of wish our century was a bit better, but...
You know what? Compared to how it was before, I am okay with living in the 21st century. I'm never going to complain about the life I have.
I wouldn't complain either, but if I could just go back and do like the late 1990s.
The 1990s, when everybody had optimism.
Absolutely. Before we was like, our economy's not the best.
Yeah. Then you get to the turn of the millennium, then a specific incident around the year I was born, and party's over. That was pretty much that.
Do you remember something that happened in September?
A specific Tuesday of September. Yeah.
blowing those towers away.
Yeah, just wait till you get to the atom bomb part of Vinland Saga. By the way, there's an atom bomb scene in Vinland Saga. I know this sounds completely out of pocket for something that takes place in the 11th century.
Yeah, I was like, how does that even... What? They weren't even I mean, they could have been flying. No, they weren't flying yet.
No, the Wright brothers haven't built the airplane at this point, and Leonardo da Vinci didn't attempt to build an airplane at that point because he wasn't born yet.
Yeah, I was like, hold on. Look, you gotta let me dust off the memory cabinet first.
Yeah.
I'm getting up there in age. I gotta clean it out and just go through my files.
Yeah, Vinland Saga's got a lot of out-of-pocket moments. There's even this one full-page spread that is just a reference to Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. Breaks down a door, sticks your face out. Here's Johnny!
Really?
Oh, yeah.
That is honestly great. I love it when animes make reference to other animes, movies, TV shows, whatnot.
Yeah.
Don is doing that as well.
Oh, yes.
And, okay. I am going to do a little pet peeve with Don, and then we got back to Vinland Saga.
Okay.
So Don does do these anime reference, and when they do it, they sing the intro to it. So they have the right to sing it.
Mm-hmm.
They only sing it in Japanese and the English dub.
Oy.
So...
Yeah, that reminds me of this one moment in Angel Beats where everybody's singing in Japanese and it's clearly not their voices. Then it switches back to English after the scene breaks.
Don't bring up Angel Beats.
Yeah.
It was great, but I was like, why?
Yeah,
why even add that?
Yeah. Translating and covering a song from one language to another is a trickier process than a lot of people realize.
But if you're going to add it into the anime, you might as well do it.
Yeah, the attempt would have been appreciated, but that's just...
No, there is no... But if you're going to add it, you might as well do it. You can't have English dub, Japanese singers... And then back to English dub.
Yeah, that's kind of why I appreciated watching Studio Mappa's The Rose of Versailles movie, because despite it being an absolute neck breaker in terms of pacing, every single featured song in the movie is covered and sung by all of the actors, which...
I need to watch that.
Yeah, The Rose of Versailles really stunned me when I saw that on the first viewing. Yeah, despite it abridging the entirety of a centuries long, despite it being a centennial chaptered manga abridged into one feature-length movie, which isn't really good for the pacing, it's still a pretty good watch in spite of that, if only for the musical numbers. But before veering too far off topic...
I know, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That was my pet peeve.
Yeah. I understand completely. Vinland Saga's got a number of great songs itself, namely its intros and outros.
In English cover? In English cover?
No need for an English cover.
Is it all just instrumental?
No need for there's no need for an English cover because it's already in English.
Yay!
Or at least some of them are simultaneous with English and Japanese. One of them is in English exclusively. It is my favorite opening in any anime I've ever seen. It is precious. It is a precious opening.
As long as they have it in English, I can vibe with it. The only issue, because like
instrumentals
goes well, but sometimes it just in my ears they just clash wrong sometimes. And that's why, while we do this, there's times when people sing.
Sometimes you feel you're most introduced when there's a voice to welcome you through the door. That's the way it is with a lot of intros for a lot of anime, not even just anime. There are plenty of cartoons in the West.
Because I don't think, honestly, I would be into Smooth Criminal if it wasn't sung to me. Because all I would hear about
Yeah, and get that without the Shimon or the
Yeah, see, that's why I was like, I like the lyrics. Lyrics help me. And if I don't like it, guess what? I bet you like $95, there's already a version of it without lyrics.
Yeah, on the subject of covering, I kind of wish somebody out there made covers of every single intro and outro in Norse.
In Norse?
In Norse.
You know how difficult
I
that
know
would be?
how difficult that would be, but it would be appropriate. These are Vikings we are talking about.
I don't think you could pay a person enough to translate Japanese English to Norse. Not in English. We have to go into Latin first.
I know that's a process, but just the possibility of that would be flattering enough. I wouldn't even need all of them, just the one that I'm thinking.
All right, you pick one song, and we'll do a live stream next time. We'll have to dedicate a whole day. So it'll be like on a Sunday, and we'll dedicate a whole day trying to translate, find the best lyrics. We don't even need to do anything else because the music,
the instrumental already exists.
Yeah, so
we already have it on sheet. We just have to find lyrics that can match the tempo.
And in Norse.
In Norse.
What am I setting myself up for? This might be it.
You're setting yourself up for a lot of fun. That's what we're setting.
No, I feel like I'm going to end up running myself through a wall.
Yeah, but on the subject of fun, I did mention that I prefer the anime over the manga.
Yeah.
Mostly because they include a lot of stuff that I expected to see in the manga because I saw the anime first that wasn't there.
Like what?
Yeah. Have you gotten to the scene where Thorfinn tries to kill Ashgalad in his sleep?
No.
Oh, okay. So
I watched maybe 2.5 episodes.
Okay, so did you get to the part where Floki recruits Thors?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Did you get to the part where Thorfinn swears vengeance against Ashgalad?
That's when like the boats were going away, right? Yeah.
So you got to the part where he swore vengeance. Well, the episode and a half after that was not featured in the manga.
Really? A whole episode?
It blew my mind to see this part of storytelling that really elevates the entire foundation of its plot not be there in the manga at all. And on the subject of chronology, you know how the anime begins with Thorfinn as a kid?
Yeah.
Well, the manga begins with Thorfinn as a teenager, and then you flash back to him as a kid. Then you slowly progress towards him back to being a teenager. Then it goes chronologically from there on out.
So the anime is going in one line, and
then the manga went
backwards to do. Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's really interesting. I wonder why they did that.
Yeah, I think Yukimura was still trying to get a handle on what he wanted to make out of this manga. He did a lot of historical research to try and bridge the gap between real-world events and the events of the plot. And in the first arc, the war between England and Denmark, that's probably where he's at his most attentive, because as he goes along, some events that come in later arcs are fabricated entirely, but they still serve a purpose to the plot and to the characters. Like,
what is it called? False fabrication? No. It's like you're lying, but the
unreliable narrator.
Almost, it's like you're lying, but the information of it is still somewhat true.
Half truth.
Yeah, it's somewhat like a half truth, but there's a fancy word for it. I promise. It's lingering in the back of my mind.
A half-truth is a good word for Vinland Saga. You can't treat it as biographical, otherwise you're just going to be misrepresenting history. Yukimura didn't want to misrepresent history. He just wanted to repurpose it for the service of plot and this terrific manga. And the really, really terrific artwork, like, it's not on the level that Kentaro Miura put into Berserk, but that's to be expected when Vinland Saga was releasing way more regularly.
Yeah. Would you use Vinland Saga for a history project, would you think? Because I feel like there's a lot of actual, like you said, he's been doing his research, so there's a lot of actual history into it. But you would actually be able to still, use the characters and all that. Would you use that, or would you use something like more Berserk, back in the time, fantasy? Berserk didn't use magic, so.
I mean, not in the golden age,
Yeah.
at least.
I was just like, it's at the end.
Yeah, Berserk was like a slow burn to getting to the magic. It isn't until halfway through that manga that you get it completely thrown into your face.
What? I don't know if I like that. I like it when it's like hinted at how Clevis is doing it. I think that's what the anime is called, about the demon beast becoming human and watching the child. Yeah, I'll type it in the description. We'll figure out how it's pronounced. But it's good anime so far. On Crunchyroll. So.
Oh, okay.
I think it's also on Netflix. Future, past me, either one of me, edit this and do a lot of.
Yeah.
Don't add that. Don't add the dance side. But either way. Back to you.
Yeah, so Vinland Saga as a whole is comprised of 4.5, kind of 5 arcs in total. Season 1 covers the first arc, which is the war between England and Denmark. This is it actually definitely is the most action-packed of the bunch. And a lot of people, because of that, dislike the second arc, the farmland. This is a part of the story where Thorfinn becomes a farmer due to circumstances, without giving too much away, because it's pretty significant what happens to him after the beginning of the first saga. But
I could take a strong guess, because I think I remember like there was a runaway person, and I assume that's the circumstance that Thorfinn ends up in.
That's the circumstance that drives conflict in it, but the circumstance is what gets Thorfinn onto this farm.
Okay.
The runaway person is the biggest part of conflict he has, the second biggest part of conflict that he has to handle while there.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of people, when season 2 aired with this saga, disliked it. And I say, you're stupid. You're completely stupid.
That is not nice.
Yeah, but it's true.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but it's true. Okay, so a lot of people from the first arc of Vinland Saga took it at an action-first appetite, because they spend the entirety of season 2 on a farm. There isn't too much action to be going on. But here's the thing. This is a seinen, not a shonen. Action is never the point. It is only the complement. And besides, this entire time that he's on the farm is spent with build-up. A lot of build-up.
A lot of rage.
A lot of build-up to a very explosive payoff.
Okay.
A very explosive payoff. The final 3 episodes of the anime, where they're currently at right now, best in the entire realm of anime. Peak. It is peak.
So how many chapters would you say is in each episode?
Yeah, chapters per episode. Where season 2 is left off, that was literally right around chapter 100. Okay. So they've already covered about half of the manga already. This is pretty substantial, considering that the manga took 20 years of serialization to finally be completed.
So it's probably going to be another 12 or 13 episodes for season 2 to finish, which would probably catch us up to the 220, excluding if they really want to stretch it out and make a movie.
Yeah, so the rest of the saga, I envision, would fit in about 50 episodes.
50 episodes?
50 episodes, yeah.
Holy cow.
There's a lot of substance to work with, and that's not even taking into account the possibility that they might want to add on some more substance, like they did with the earlier part of the saga, like I mentioned.
Filler.
It's technically filler, but it's not really filler if it manages to complement what it's doing.
No, absolutely right. I mean, you're 100% right there. I'm just saying, So that's what he's talking about. It's just going to be filler episodes.
The author Yukimura is probably the biggest fan of this anime, not only because it's so faithful to the, but it takes the extra step to add on more context to all of these great moments. Yeah, so after season 2, the next saga after that would be would be the Runaway Bride saga. I'm not going to go too deep into detail, but there's a lot of hijinks that essentially force them to try and speedrun their voyage a little bit. Yeah, so season 3 is when the actual saga, you see, begins. This is when Thorfinn finally turns into an adventurer. But I call that half of a saga because that leads directly into my favorite saga in all of Vinland Saga, the Baltic War. Because this is after Thorfinn had his entire development as a character, and he discovers something that throws all of it into question. So he has to come to terms with whether or not he wants to give up everything that he's gained just for a moment of gratification. But then the final saga, the final arc, is when they actually arrive to Vinland, when they decide to create their own town and try and begin a civilization in North America. Which brings us to here, I guess.
That brings us to here. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, Vinland Saga ends with the creation of modern-day North America properly. Not the actual ending of the manga, but technically where the real-world history has brought us.
Yeah, and you would be surprised that the creator didn't decide to just be like, oh, they ended up in Japan or somewhere else. Because they do have the luxury. I know they want to keep close to the, historics, but
yeah,
it's their anime. They can not anime.
It's his
creation.
it's his work.
Yeah.
It's his work. But Yukimura actually omitted about an extra 50 chapters worth of content in a time skip. See, before venturing off to Vinland, Thorfinn needed a sponsor. He needed to raise a lot of money.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of what he's trying to do throughout the Baltic War saga. And then that leads into a time jump. Then he's recruiting adventurers to head off to Vinland and start a civilization there and make nice with all of the native people there. Or so they attempt to. But yeah, Vinland Saga. This was an experience and a half. And I'm so glad that I was able to read it all to completion. I think this has impacted me and inspired me about as profoundly as anything could. But
look, I'll try my best to push Vinland Saga up there. I've really been having a hard time focusing with some animes, even though they seem to be my type. It's just, I don't know. It's just not the click sometimes.
Vinland Saga may not be everybody's cup of tea, but for some people to dismiss it just because of season 2 really grinds my gears.
And that's some things about anime. It's going to be ups and downs, left and right.
People are going to have their own cup of teas. They'll expect power levels and jutsus in every single one of them, but that's not what you're always going to get.
And let me say this. It is your choice of an anime. It is your opinion, and let no one deteriorate of what you want to watch or enjoy. It is what you enjoy.
You have the power to choose and the right to choose.
Sometimes I like Bleach. Sometimes I like Witch Watch, which is a romance rom-com. Don't ask me, but it's weird. It's just what anime that comes to interest. So as a otaku, I have dabbled in pretty much a lot of different types of anime. And I don't personally have a genre I would say I like. I just like whatever anime catches my attention. Yeah,
the genre that's left the most amount of impression on me, despite me not always liking everything that comes out of it or wanting everything that comes out of it, is probably seinen. Mostly because its target demographic is people around my age.
Yeah.
But the point of a proper seinen, a true seinen, is to make the reader or the viewer reflect on their entire morality. That's what Berserk has been able to do to its readers. That's what Vinland Saga has been able to do to its readers. That's what Ghost in the Shell has been able to do to just about anybody who's seeing any Ghost in the Shell.
Would Violet Evergarden be in that genre then? Because it's her overcoming her disability.
Yeah.
So
I think Violet Evergarden fits more in the realm of josei. There's a lot less extreme content that you would see in a seinen, but despite that, it has the same sort of want you would get out of a seinen, and you would get it here of all places. That's a lot of credit to Violet Evergarden for being able to deliver the sort of impact you would get out of a seinen into something that is not.
Mm-hmm.
You know, on the subject, I created a full Google Docs page lengths worth of all of my favorite anime ranked from top to bottom.
Oh, okay.
Would you care for me to
Absolutely. Read me some of these animes. Is it in genre? Is it just overall?
This is just from my entire experience. I'm ranking these entirely on how much I enjoy them, how much of an impression they have left on me, how much I value them overall. And my condition is only one series per franchise.
Okay.
So this isn't a series. To me, is not the same as a season.
Yeah.
A series would be something entirely different, like Bleach and Bleach 1,000-Year Blood War. Those are two separate entities, despite it being the same continuity and story. Yeah.
Hold on. Any honorable mentions before we start the rank and they don't?
Okay, honorable mentions. Oh yeah, I left Trigon off the list. My bad. It just didn't have room.
Well, the Trigon can get the honorable mention.
Trigon can get my honorable mention.
All right.
But right at the tippy top of my list, to no surprise to anybody who has been paying attention to this stream thus far, it is Vinland Saga.
Oh God.
It is Vinland Saga.
I was gonna say Berserk. I was gonna look so silly.
Vinland Saga is my favorite anime of all time. This was not an easy bar to clear, but it succeeded with flying colors. Yeah. From not only its plot, not only its substance, not only its impact and impression, like I've mentioned, but also its animation, its score, and the acting, the voice acting.
The voice acting is really good.
The voice acting is splendid. There are actually two existing English versions of Vinland Saga. There's a Crunchyroll version and the version on Netflix, which I prefer by a very large extent because it's unionized.
Why?
When it's unionized, you can afford actors that are worth a lot higher salaries than some of the regulars would be. So that gives them a luxury to bring in voice actors who aren't anime regulars.
Yeah.
There's this one character in season 2 who's voiced by Shadow the Hedgehog. Oh yeah, there's also this character in season 1 who's voiced by the other Shadow the Hedgehog.
Oh well, that makes sense for Vinland Saga then.
Vinland Saga is definitely worth a union dub, but right underneath Vinland Saga, my favorite anime before I ever saw this was Devilman Crybaby, mostly because it was so 10 episodes, and I was left emotionally crippled.
Yeah, yeah. Don't watch that with a light heart.
Yeah, don't watch that if you're a bit emotionally sensitive or visually sensitive for that matter.
Or under the age of 18.
Oh yeah, it's probably the most hardcore mainstream anime out there.
Yeah,
and that's really saying
Netflix something. Of all things.
Yeah, it's available entirely on streaming. It breaks a lot of boundaries down. Devilman Crybaby was impressive, but I'd also like to shout out the musical score. They went with some dubstep. It slaps so hard.
Devilman Crybaby did have some good soundtracks. I was like, all right, I'm feeling this.
Yeah, it even had a cover of the original 1972's anime's opening.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so Devilman had been around for a very long time. It is considered one of the classics for the anime and manga industry. And Crybaby was definitely its biggest, galvanization, I guess would be the word, because it had been dormant for a while, but this brought it right back from the dead.
All right. Do you think we're gonna get a second season, or you think we're
not very likely.
I just hated how it ended, though.
Not unless they want to adapt the spin-off manga by the creator where Devilman fights through hell to save Miki's soul.
Yeah, but how the main character didn't die at the end. He was just head, but he wasn't dead due to the fact he was a devil, but he didn't kill the villain. So I'm just like, what happens now?
No. I'm pretty sure that the anime spoilers.
Absolutely, yeah.
Pretty sure that the anime, it ended with Akira dying. He died.
He died?
He died.
Oh, to me, he just looked like he was just a head, and he was just like, I'm gonna regenerate. I'll be back. Just it's gonna take me longer than normal.
No, Akira died. He went kaput. So did the entire planet Earth.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, wait. This is how. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty nihilistic how he ends, but it's still pretty satisfying as far as ending goes. At least
I'll
for its
give it a 4 out of 10.
The fact that the main villain at the end of it, Satan, has a guilty conscience after everything.
Yeah,
that was pretty cathartic.
Yeah,
It's identical to how I felt when I got to 364, the chapter of Berserk that made me cry. That one. Oh, speaking of cry, there's this one chapter in Vinland Saga that actually made me tear up a bit.
Really?
It didn't make me sob like a baby like Berserk did, but I was tearing up, yeah. Yeah, there's some pretty powerful stuff in there.
Make sure you guys go read it or watch the anime.
Yeah,
whichever
so
one helps.
Third on my list, Puella Magi Madoka Magica, my favorite magical girl anime.
No.
It's
you're not going to explain anything. Just skip that one. You made me watch that. I don't want to go through that drama again. Skip
it. Okay, good characters though. But,
okay, yeah, fine. Good characters, but
yeah, fourth on the list is Dragon Ball Z Kai. This is a pretty easy selection out of every series that Dragon Ball has had. This is the most faithful to Toriyama's manga, far and away. Removes a lot of the fat, I guess you could say, to the entree, and also the voice acting was a huge step up from the original few dubs of Z. Z has quite a few.
Was Kai when we got to meet Gohan when he went to go fight Boo?
That was the final season of Kai.
Okay.
Kai was just essentially a reworked version of Dragon Ball Z, but it's told far, far better than ordinary Dragon Ball Z because, like I said, it cuts out a lot of the fat. Goku and Frieza's fight went from 19 episodes to 11.
Yeah. That's fine. I was like, 8 episodes. It was just because I like that line that Gohan gives. He's like, fight you?
No, I want to kill you.
And I was like, bro is giving off aura. He was the definition. Before aura became a thing, he was like, yo.
Back in my day, we called it swagger.
Yo, for real, yeah. Gohan will forever be my favorite.
He's goated.
I don't care what you said, from Kid Gohan to Adult Gohan to One-Arm Gohan.
The Buu Saga in Dragon Ball Z probably would be my favorite if Toriyama had done a little bit of extra planning when he got to the part where they introduced fusion, because fusion itself is cool, but what happens with the plot after is just kind of Majin Buu going from opponent to opponent to opponent to opponent.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like they had any cohesion around what was...
I strongly dislike that nobody else really tried fusion.
Mm-hmm.
So many people seen the fusion dance, understand the concept,
but hardly ever attempt it. Goten and Trunks are the only ones who use it regularly. Vegeta and Goku are too proud and stubborn to use it.
Goku just wants to fight. He wants to fight his own.
Imagine a fusion between Yamcha and Tien Shinhan.
Odd, but I can see it at least.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it gives humans an actual chance to fight along with Saiyans.
Yeah.
And uncovers new ground.
It would provide purpose to characters who I like, but have been mostly idle ever since the Android saga.
And like, for crying out loud, imagine Krillin and Gohan doing the fusion dance.
Assuming Krillin can reach his fingertips.
Yeah, gonna have to do someone that.
Gonna have to do a bit of adjusting.
Or Piccolo and Gohan.
Or they could do that 5-way fusion dance that they had in Dragon Ball Fusions.
What?
Oh, you don't know about the 5-way dance from Dragon Ball Fusions?
No.
Oh, I'll have to blow your mind after this. But speaking of which, the 5th on my list, Code Geass, Lelouch of the Rebellion.
Okay, I thought it was going to be in the top 10. Not in your 5.
It's top 5, yeah. It's definitely top 5 for me. Despite me ranking Code Geass, Lelouch of the Rebellion this high, I have not seen Code Geass, Agito of the Exiled. I have not seen Code Geass, Lelouch of the Resurrection, and I have not seen Code Geass, Rose of the Recapture. And frankly, I'm really reluctant to, because Lelouch of the Rebellion had a splendid ending.
For real. Okay, look, it was. I love the ending. It was a 9 out of 10 in my opinion. Probably a 9.8 out of my opinion. Because it just pulled your heartstring at the very.
It gives you so much feels.
The last 10 minutes of that episode, pulling heartstrings. You're just like, no, yes, no,
it's Code Geass, Lelouch of the Rebellion. I can describe in one word: rapture.
That's why we gotta watch the Resurrection, because I need to know.
We gotta know if it stays peak or not. Before leaving this item off, I just wanted to say it also features my favorite redemption arc in all of anime, Lord Jeremiah. He's the coolest guy in the show. He goes from being this high-ranking Britannian military guy to being the butt of everybody's joke to being Lelouch's doormat, and then to being his frickin' wingman after that.
He was everywhere.
Jeremiah is the best. But item number 6 favorite anime, Hunter x Hunter. I'm specifically talking about the Studio Madhouse version that aired from 2011 to 2014 and finally got to air in the United States in 2016 to 2019. I waited very, very patiently to see this.
Why was there such a big gap that aired in the U.S.?
Yeah, they had a lot of work to do with translating. I guess they wanted to have the entire show at their disposal before they got to it.
Okay, that makes more sense.
And paying attention to the dialogue and seeing some of the panels from the manga, it's almost word for word. They were meticulous with this thing. Yeah, but Hunter x Hunter is probably one of my favorite shonens. I mean, I ranked it second on my list of top anime out of every shonen that I've seen. So that should say a lot. It starts off as a shonen, but frankly, it could be categorized as a seinen nowadays.
Yeah.
And a large part of that change came around the Chimera Ant saga, which I actually covered in my satire class in college. Yeah, I did a full presentation on it and everything just to point out how much the Chimera Ants satirize mankind's violent part of their history.
Yeah, We're pretty violent.
Oh yeah, we've even been that way since before video games were created.
Yeah,
can you believe that? Violence has been a thing since before the source of all violence.
Not even then. We've been honestly probably violent before we even created an actual weapon to be violent.
Yeah, we were violent before we discovered fire. Instinct has always been at the root of humanity, and Hunter x Hunter's Chimera Ant arc alone draws enough attention to that to create a beautiful, beautiful narrative around. Yeah, and that's not even to discredit any of the other 5, now 6 arcs of Hunter x Hunter. I say now 6 because one of them hasn't been adapted to anime yet because it's been ongoing ever since the anime concluded.
It's coming back.
Yeah.
It's coming back. Don't worry.
I'm a patient man, Togashi. For you, I will wait.
But it's like we got the announcement that is coming back, so don't worry.
Yeah. But right under Hunter x Hunter, I appropriately have Violet Evergarden.
Really?
as-
Number 7?
Number 7. Number 7, yeah.
I would have pushed Violet Evergarden to at least be in the top 5. But gosh, how you have it, it's hard.
It was a very thoughtful process, but
I'll let Violet Evergarden be in the top 10.
I couldn't put it lower than 7.
No,
Violet Evergarden.
If you did, we would have to fight.
Violet Evergarden is precious to me. You know that. I know that. Aesthetically speaking, it is the most beautiful anime I've ever watched. Oh yeah,
Number 1. I have yet to find anything better than
yeah. This is the pinnacle of aesthetics. Aesthetics peak with Violet Evergarden. KyoAni.
For real. You deserve an absolute reward for having your everybody that worked on that like imagery deserves like a raise or something. They went hard. And not even like,
yeah. And this is just talking about the show, mind you. That's not even bringing into account the full 2 feature-length movies that they have.
That's what I'm like. That's how you know they popped off. They had 2 seasons?
Yeah, they had about one. Was it 12 episode season? I think it was a 12 episode season, and then 2 feature-length movies, both of which eclipsed 2 hours.
That's what I'm saying.
And keeping that quality for all of that runtime, they didn't move an inch. That's
why I was like, really? Number 7?
Mm-hmm. Number 7.
But overall, animation design, top.
Yeah. If we were basing this on aesthetic alone, Violet Evergarden clears everything.
Oh yeah, I don't even think I would bother making any other points. I'd be like, Violet Evergarden.
Yeah, it's Violet Evergarden. Right below Violet Evergarden is Death Note.
Oh, okay.
I do like my occasional crime thrillers as far as movies and television go. This is my favorite out of all anime when it comes to crime thrillers. Death Note. I like Death Note. A lot of the thinking that a lot of the characters do, a lot of the foundation for its plot. And it also has a really good, I hesitate to say protagonist because Light is a scumbag, but besides that, Death Note is quite splendid.
Death Note is, I don't know. I tried to watch it and I got like halfway through. So I understand the concept, the plot, and the storyline. I just don't, it's just not me. I guess it's too emo for me. I'm not that dark and broody.
Yeah, Death Note has a lot of darkness, not just in its subject matter, but also in its aesthetics.
Yeah, I was like,
they go for a lot of gothic imagery here.
Yeah, I was like, I couldn't get over the god complex of like casting judgment upon others.
Yeah,
so I was just like.
Yeah, Light is a very hateable character. He is so self-righteous.
I don't hate him. That's the thing. I was like, I don't hate him. It's just the flaw.
I only hated him after I rewatched Death Note just to see if I could feel anything different, and then I started to see Light for his faults.
This man was just like, "Oh, this book kills. I'm going to be judge, jury, and executioner.
Jury, and executioner. I have the power. I have the right. Screw the rest of y'all." But keep those policemen off of my tail.
Yeah, I was like, this man.
You're going after officers of the law just to keep being so self-righteous. Light.
And I hate that his name is Light.
Yeah.
It's literally, I don't know.
His name is Light.
And he does the darkest thing.
He does the darkest thing. Oh, yeah. The dialogue in Death Note is it's superb. Also, the acting in Death Note, this was done by Canadians. So, yeah, it was done by a group of Canadians. And somehow I think outsourcing, maybe outsourcing is the wrong word, but contracting the Ocean Group, this based out of Canada, they did the original dub for Dragon Ball Z, but decided to end it with Dragon Ball Z. That's veering a little too off topic, but the Ocean Group, they also did Black Lagoon. A lot of the work they do, although it's been hard for me to find a lot of their work, but Death Note is the best they've ever done.
Yeah. Quite
simply. The acting is top notch. It goes par for par with Vinland Sagas, in my opinion. But right below Death Note, this I put Berserk, and I am exclusively speaking of its 1997 anime.
Okay,
This isn't including the Memorial Edition they released back in 2022, and this is certainly not excluding that abomination they released in 2016. But but besides that, this is the most faithful version of my favorite manga of all time, and one of the biggest inspirations on my entire life, frankly. So this 1997's Berserk anime was where I got invested in it. After the final episode, I was just left with this feeling of emptiness. Not like the usual sadness like I got out of Devilman Crybaby, but just one where you gotta go, what do I do now?
What now?
Yeah. I could go on about that, but I have an entire list to read off. Underneath this...
probably do 3 more because we're reaching almost
9:30. we can get to the halfway point. So under this, I put Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Oh, gosh, if I make a list, I'm going to have to have multiple tiers, like my A, B, and C tier list.
Yeah, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. It was... the original Full Metal Alchemist from 2003 was one of my gateways, but in spite of that, Brotherhood is better for one reason and one reason only. It follows the manga.
Yeah.
Yeah, about halfway through the original, they started creating their own plot. Don't get me wrong, it was still really, really good, but it was misrepresentative of the original vision. The author Hiromu Arakawa actually started releasing a colored version of the manga on Webtoons. Yeah, available to read.
Oh yeah, I saw that, and I was like, "Oh, bro, I need to read that because then I can actually do a comparison with." Actually, I need to watch it and read it so I can do comparisons.
Yeah, right under this, even though I've only seen 750 episodes of it, is One Piece. This is where I put One Piece.
Just a casual 750
yeah,
episodes.
Just a casual 750 episodes. Who knows? When I catch up to it, I might be able to rank it higher, but for now, it is here. Just slightly above Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Devilman Crybaby. Just verbatim my sentiment on that.
Yeah.
Now, moving on, right below Cyberpunk Edge Runners is where I put Soul Eater. And I was surprised that I put it here because Soul Eater was the gateway for me. This is what got me into all of it.
I love
this is where it started.
I don't know if I would put it below Cyberpunk, though.
This is just for my current sentiment and impression. This is where Soul Eater stands with me right now.
What's your reasoning underneath Cyberpunk, though?
I don't know. Maybe it's just been too long since I've seen it.
Yeah, you might need to do a rewatch.
I might need to do a rewatch.
Because I'm like, we talked about how we hated the ending. Like, everything was great. We understand, like, a Kami got kill style.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we lose player after player after player. And that was fine and all. But, like, the ending was garbage. And the fact that they're doing a season 2 slightly pisses me off. I'm just like, why? Just why?
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, just definitely we'll do a marathon. We'll do a marathon, a live stream marathon.
We can marathon Soul Eater, sure. But on the subject of ghosts, right under this is where I put Ghost Files Yu Yu Hakusho, the other greatest work by Yoshihiro Togashi. I put it, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spots under Hunter x Hunter, which...
that's a big gap.
And this is only because Yu Yu Hakusho, in a sense, is basically just a prototype to Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, you could literally see all the resemblance.
Yeah, they have a fully green protagonist. A lot of the plot points, a lot of moments are just essentially repurposed in Hunter x Hunter. A lot of the character designs are a bit one for one. Like I mentioned the similarities between Yusuke and Gon. This isn't even talking about the similarities between Knuckle and Kuwabara. They have pompadours and they have animals attracted to them at random. And then there's the resemblance between Kurapika and Kurama, who are both androgynous dudes who fight with long weapons.
Yo-yo.
So, yeah, I guess it's not really stealing if it's from yourself.
My thing is, I was like, with Gon, he has, 3 settings. And if I remember correctly, Spirit Gun, Spirit Shotgun, and then Spirit Wave.
Well, that's with Yusuke, but let's see. Yeah, Yusuke, he uses a Spirit Gun.
Yeah.
He uses a Shotgun, which is a closed fist.
He has one more, right?
Yeah, he has a Spirit Wave. He uses it a little bit differently every time, but with Gon, he uses the rock, paper, scissors.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, so it's literally, this is scissors.
Yeah, he's got
paper.
3-phase attack, just like Yusuke. So it's rock, then it's paper where he shoots a projectile, and scissors where he's got a blade.
Okay, so I'm not losing my mind.
You're not losing your mind.
I was like, okay, this is literally just Gon, just with a gun.
Under Ghost Files Yu Yu Hakusho was where I put Naruto Shippuden.
Wow.
And
Shonen jumped that far down. I did not expect it.
Yeah, I didn't expect that either, but that isn't to take away from Naruto Shippuden at all. And I prefer Shippuden over ordinary Naruto and Boruto The Next Generation, mostly because this is where we get a lot of our payoff with some of what had been set up before. At this point, Sasuke's already turned rogue and betrayed the Leaf Village, and Naruto's going on his... Yeah,
No,
so that's literally Sasuke.
No, he did it twice, right?
Sasuke turned traitor. Officially, he only turned traitor one time.
Yeah.
Although Sasuke doesn't stay loyal to who he betrays the leaf for, but that's besides the point. But yeah, this is where we get the most out of the Akatsuki and the Tailed Beast, a lot of what Kishimoto had been establishing but hadn't really put to use in the original Naruto. Shippuden is after that 3-year time jump, and Naruto definitely matures. Not just the character, but the entire franchise. That's when it matures. Speaking of mature, right under this is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4, Diamond is Unbreakable. This is my favorite part of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, largely because this is where Araki shows his own native Japan. And this is also his favorite JoJo and my favorite JoJo, Josuke. And Josuke, fittingly enough, was voiced by one of my favorite voice actors. May he rest in peace, Billy Kometz. So right under JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4, Diamond is Unbreakable, I put Fate Zero. Now, if I were ranking this list on aesthetics entirely, this would be second right under Violet Evergarden.
Yeah, Fate Zero.
Yeah, Fate Zero definitely changed how I viewed art direction and stuff I watched. Just because it looked like something I'd expect out of a big budget anime movie, like you'd see out of Studio Ghibli or some of those Pokemon movies they aired on Cartoon Network back in the day. But no, they did this for a 24-episode show, and it was doing it right for me. This is a little longer than 24 episodes. It was Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann.
They did great. I like a lot. The animation itself, wonky, but it just fits. It's almost like
it's very stylistic. It's Studio Trigger's a very stylistic studio. Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann put a lot of this on display. Right under that, I put a childhood favorite, Bakugan Battle Brawlers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the toys I would collect for this thing. Oh yeah.
Do you remember Monsuno? Monsuno, we got the power, man of the hour, got my core ready and it's ready to devour.
I remember that less than I do. What are you gonna do? The odds are stacked against you, back against the wall. You gotta give it your all. This is the final stand. The power's in your hand. Two worlds collide from the inside. You gotta fight for what's right until it's gone, gone, gone. This is Bakugan. Oh man, so peak.
Bro, why did we stop having peak anime intros?
Why did the song stop slapping over here? They just kind of gave up on that.
Yeah, and now we have songs about dancing body parts.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so right under this was where I put Free Run Beyond Journey's End.
Really?
Yeah.
So far, we're currently
We've
watching.
been in the middle of watching Free Run Beyond Journey's End. We're currently 22 episodes out of 28 in. This has been leaving a really good impression on me. It's taken a lot of... it's taken the foundation of a traditional fantasy story and kind of...
do it on reverse.
Yeah, it subverts a lot of the expectations you get out of that. Even the modern expectations that you have are getting subverted.
Because in a fantasy, your job is to fight the big bad, and do the big bad, and that's the end of the journey.
But
the big bad.
Here we begin with that.
I was like,
here we begin with that. The thing you would expect to be the foundation of the plot, it's already done. Therefore, what comes beyond a journey's end? That is Free Run. So right under this was where I put Fully Cooley.
Really? That low down?
That low down. I was shocked too. But this is where I put Fully Cooley. And maybe it might just be because Fully Cooley is just 6 episodes.
It is
just
6 episodes.
It's a glorious 6 episodes. I like progressive and alternative just fine, but Fully Cooley is Fully Cooley.
It makes no rhyme or reason, but it's great all the same.
Mm-hmm. You're not going to be able to explain a lot of what happens and what goes on, but frankly, there isn't really a point to it. Just enjoy listening to the pillows and watch the show.
Yeah, just pop some popcorn,
I miss the pillows.
Brain rot watching it because it's just that good. You're just gonna, all right, shit,
I might get a bit of pushback for this next part, but the next item on the list was
supposed to go. Are we at the halfway point?
Yeah,
you got to save.
We're at the halfway point. Don't worry.
Okay.
Don't worry. This was where I put Bleach: The 1,000-Year Blood War. I left Ordinary Bleach off of the list. I prefer 1,000-Year Blood War to it. I know this sounds sacrilegious, but hear me out. Hear me out. The 1,000-Year Blood War is where we get all of our payoff for every single unanswered question that Kubo had been asking us. Ichigo's power, the meaning behind White Ichigo, the Quincy's, the Soul King.
Of your God.
Not to mention the original series, 45% filler.
I don't care. It's good.
I know.
You deserve this pillow.
You're not giving me that pillow.
You deserve this pillow.
Okay, I can rapid fire the list. We're close enough. Okay,
rapid fire.
The next items. Monster, 73 episode sign-in, pretty damn good. I took a little too long to finish it, though. Yeah. I feel sad for it. Right below this, Elfen Lied, another anime I prefer over its manga. I finished the manga. It didn't do it quite like it did at the anime, even though the anime technically finishes a little earlier and changes the ending, but I kind of like the change, so it's here. Right below that, Baki Hanma, Son of Ogre. Now, despite the fact that the manga has been ongoing since the early 1990s,
I don't think that's getting picked.
This series, this specific series is my favorite out of the entire Baki the Grappler franchise, mostly because it's where we finally get our fight between Baki and his father Yujiro. Right below that is where I put Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba. If I were talking about...
get some backlash out of that.
I'm going to get some backlash out of that, but I'm fine with it.
100%.
A lot of the things that I see in Demon Slayer, I see done better with a lot of the stuff I put in front of it on this list.
Fate Zero.
If we were talking about aesthetics only, this would be my number 3 item on the list, right? Below Fate Zero and Violet Evergarden.
Okay, yeah.
Even though it's the same studio as Fate Zero.
Well, that explains a lot. Why did Demon Slayer get hyped and Fate Zero didn't get? Fate Zero. Generation. It's just the generation thing.
Yeah, it's just a generational thing. I think a lot of the people who disliked Vinland Saga Season 2 were fans of Demon Slayer because in Demon Slayer, when the action starts, there is not an off button until somebody dies. Mm-hmm. That is how it goes in every single saga. The first battle is the final battle. Right below this, Beyblade Metal Fury. Enough said. Right below this, Japan Sinks. Self-explanatory.
Yep.
Right below this, Persona 4. All the feels of the video game wrapped up neatly in a 24 episode bow. I like
thought
Persona
that was
4.
for Persona 5 on Netflix, right?
No, I'm talking about Persona 4.
Huh. Oh, okay.
Persona 5 is really it's the same franchise, but it's disconnected. It's a bit anthological, kind of like Final Fantasy, how you get Personas 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and they almost have nothing to do with each other except for the Persona Q crossovers.
I thought you was going to say Kingdom Hearts, but yeah, okay.
No, Kingdom Hearts, that's all bound together. You can't play one Kingdom Hearts without needing one of the other ones to understand what's going on.
100%.
It's more convoluted than that. Right below this is where I put Durarara. I don't see myself getting through high school without Durarara. Right below this, Do Not Hate Me, is Sword Art Online. It's a little lower to the bottom of my list, but this is a list of my favorites, okay?
It's on there still.
It's on the list. So is Kill la Kill, so is Black Lagoon, so is Angel Beats, Tenkai Knights, and Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. That is the entire list.
Pokemon Diamond. Oh, I'm glad Pokemon made it on there. You might have lost a friend at Pokemon.
I could have gotten an enemy if I didn't.
I was like, Pokemon should
there.
at least be in the top 20.
Diamond and Pearl is my favorite Pokemon series. No
That's
cap.
good. But I do like Black and White. Black and White did have some banger.
Black and White had some charm to it. I like that the entire series of Black and White featured brand new Pokemon exclusively.
Yeah, it was like there was only one. No.
There were about maybe 3 previous generation Pokemons featured throughout the entire
Yeah,
anime.
and I was just like,
I really appreciated that about Black and White, but Diamond and Pearl, man, something about it.
Low key, I'm not even gonna argue. You're absolutely right. Out of all the Pokemon shows, Diamond and Pearl is good.
Yeah,
and it might just be me, but I always liked the Johto section. The Johto section had all of it. I don't even. Wait, did we ever get a Johto?
Yeah, we got a Johto anime. I think that was.
I don't remember him getting for alligator.
I can't remember what.
No, he does because I remember Baby.
I can't remember the name of the generation. So.
I think it's called Johto series. Because it goes Hoenn.
Yeah.
Kento, Johto. And then it started to do Pokemon Diamond and Pearl.
I feel like there was something before that. What was the one called when they had May and Max on the team with Ash and Brock? Oh, it's on the top of my head. What am I doing?
My brain keeps thinking Pokemon Ranger. I was like, no, that's not it. That's the movie, Pokemon Ranger.
Yeah, Entei, what generation is he from? This is it.
He's from the Johto region.
Yeah.
What? Oh my gosh, hold on.
Pokemon Silver and... Yeah, it was Silver and Gold. Yes.
Yeah, is that what it's called?
That was...
It has to be Pokemon Johto, right?
I gotta get to the bottom of this before we finish. Hold on. Pokemon.
Because I remember it goes. Is this?
Hold on. Franchise and shows. Okay, so it goes Pokemon Advanced Generation, Mastermind of Mirage, Chronicles, Dungeon, then Diamond and Advanced Generation. Yeah, that was the one. That was the one with Max and May. Yeah, that's it.
Holy cow!
I didn't realize May and Ash had the same voice actress.
What?
Yeah, look right here.
Okay.
You know, shout out to Veronica Taylor. It took me until now to figure that out. Holy shoot!
And I'm a Pokemon fan, so I was like, yeah.
Yeah, so that's news to me. Yeah, so after Advanced Generation, then it was Diamond and Pearl for me. Then Black and White, then XYZ.
Yeah, there was Pokemon Ranger. I was like,
Pokemon Ranger Guardian Signs. That was the one with Ben.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Pokemon series that don't feature Ash at all, even though he had been the protagonist since 1998.
All right. We should wrap it up.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we figured that out. I am honestly
So
surprised
happy
how
to
many-
solve that before we. I was not going to let
Bro,
that
my
bug
whole
me
brain
all
was
night.
like, I was literally doing the Johto, Kanto, Hino. I was like,
I had to count them off before getting to there.
anyways, guys, this is H,
We've been having a good time. This is D.
and this is HD Synergy
Signing
signing off.
Yippee!
Now it's time to go home and probably go to sleep. Or, yeah, I probably have to go to sleep.